a bump off the wall, we've got a lead change. Well, back halfway down the field, and most of the field is stuck.
Cosmocrats, leaving Earth on November 5th.
Sand may be coarse and gets everywhere, but it's the bread and butter of the O Raceway, the home race for the O Rangers. Here in Season 2 of Marbula One, hello everybody, I'm Greg Woods. We returned to the O Raceway, which was the second race of the first season of this fantastic marble competition. And it was quite an eventful race, and if qualifying this year is anything to go by, we are in for a barnstormer today. Perched high atop this somewhat sandy track, you'll notice some changes from last year's. The marbles will first go through the roll and go to improve race performance. All marbles will get to keep their same position, though. That's just kind of a fun way for them to get to the grid. By the way, special thanks to our sponsor Cosmocrats, the zero-gravity dystopian adventure that is available now on Steam, where your decisions really matter in a dark comedy and set in zero gravity. It's Wispy on pole, next to Billy from the Green Ducks, who's gotten a great start out of the gate every time they've launched. Then Pulsar, Red Eye, Snowstorm, and Tumult. And we're rolling, and Billy has done it again, but gets shoved to the outside and fights back through the first sector. Great move to keep up in the lead. High on the curbs is Tumult, and I believe Cerulean back there trying to opt for that same strategy. First time they come down the sand, and Cerulean shoots between them all and takes the lead. Billy has fallen way back to 5th, and maybe at risk of losing even more. Mimo in second place, just narrowly ahead of Tumult. Mimo with a fun 10 as we come through the final turn for the first time. A 15-lap race, and it's fairly close right up at the front. Briefly, Ocean gets hard into the wall, letting Minty Drizzle go to the inside, but that's the slower way around. The Minty Maniac's marble loses positions. Red Eye still holds at the front of the field, but it's Ocean now in second place, with Red Eye desperate to get by, knowing every point could count. And they would also need some help from Crazy Cat's Eyes falling down the order for this championship to stay alive. Starry notches the fastest lap, 27.7. How to manage the energy that goes into the normal start of a Grand Prix. Clutter with a good exit off of the belt here. And a nice challenge coming from Dash, who is attempting to close up, weaving through this back and forth start to the lap. 15 meters is this track, and off the chevron, both of the top two go with a healthy gap back to third place Origin. Cerulean was in a battle there with Bolt and Red Eye sneaks by and also has Origin to get by into second place. So we take a look farther back in the field. Behind Alpine in 6th, it's Shimmer, Mallard, Bolt, Arup, Yellow, Mimo, Minty Flave, Cosmo, Mocha, Rapidly, Swax, Wuspy, Smoggy, and Pinky Toe. Back at the front, Speedy across the line. Prim gets by for second place, 7,300ths back. Then it's Momo. Mallard jumps him off the belt, and we get a lead change up front. Great move from Prim to take the lead. Speedy caught napping through the slower parts of the track. As they go through the tunnel, look at the draft, just ducking to the inside, but nothing there on the exit. Across the bridge. These top marbles all doing a very good job of avoiding careening into those blocks, but look at how close Speedy is. Look at the outside. Prim laying down the block, and nothing there. Up the belt they come, just 0.2 apart. We'll have to see how that develops and if these marbles can rein it in as we begin to settle in now toward the midway point of this race. Billy's lead is huge, but the battle beyond that is an intriguing one. Arup, Tumult, Mocha. Speedy is also trying to stay with them. You see the back of the field now. And Red Eye all the way back into 15th spot. My goodness, we're not used to this. Here's another battle developing coming out of those tubes. As we get another fastest lap, this time it's reset by a wide margin. It's Billy with a 29.566. The lead over Arup is over 3.5 seconds. Now we saw some almighty splits in qualifying between the fastest and the slowest marbles. Massive. Very briefly. Bumble had a look coming off the conveyor, but couldn't keep it. Red Eye dances off into the distance and is now trying to get by Bolt for second place. Down they come, Red Eye to the outside, now goes back to the inside, can't get it done. That opens the door for Bumble, who gets by both marbles? No, just the one, just Red Eye. A better backstretch would have netted Bumble second place. Speedy's lead is now just over half a second, but it's gone in a single corner. Speedy is having some trouble here. This is a great battle between the top two. We see so many competitors nailing that chicane this time. They got practice in the first Grand Prix, and they are navigating it beautifully this time. Perhaps a fake move there with a bit of extra contact. Comics Kid holding on. The lead going back and forth between them multiple times, sometimes in the same lap. Comics Kid dodges that shark fin on the drop this time, and is able to hold the lead all the way across the line. Bumblebees, Cobalt's in fourth, Galactic fifth. Turtle Sliders coming up there in sixth. They've fallen all the way back there. Jungle Jumpers, Primary, Snowballs, and Solar Flares make up the top 10. It's still Oceanics and Balls of Chaos dead last. Lap 8 of 13. The Wisps are trying to build this lead. What's it going to be this time coming across the line? Well, that's impressive. Over a second and a half. The Pinkies with Pink and the home fans can hold it. One step between them, Clutter and Yellow. And Yellow Eye. And the Yellow Eye's speed comes nearly to a stop after some contact with Yellow in the first sector. That snaky start to this lap really mixes these marbles up. Now Yellow Eye having to defend from Mimo. And then a good train there, Clementon. Moves in, can't get that one. Yellow Eye defends the spot. Mimo and Clementon are both looking very racy. We are past the halfway point in this race at the Mo Motorway. If you're just nearly getting short, we are separated by just over 2/10. Fastest lap now goes to Misty, 20.74. And Clementon can finally breathe. But is that only a momentary respite? Billy and Cerulean going high up on that banking. It's a very tight turn. You can see how high the marbles get on that banked section. The lead is 9/10. Cerulean and Misty coming behind Clementon and Billy. And West, that was a masterclass by Bolt. 2/10. Honey, Pulsar, and Wispy, and Red Eye gets the jump off the belt. The Crazy Cat's Eyes lead the overall standings for the team championship by 4 points. And if Red Eye can get the win here, I can't imagine that Red Eye would not go to the top spot in the individual standings. Of course, each marble kind of alternating back and forth between the rounds, so after this one you would have 2 rounds apiece to compare the teammates. Honey running well in third. Ocean continues to plummet, down in 12th place. It's all coming undone. Picked it up in the middle stint and got faster as it went along. I'll be interested to see if that happens again today.
Mahindra were fairly anonymous in the first round of the season. They had a 7th place finish and never really fought towards the front, but they're pulling out quite a healthy margin here. Envision Virgin Racing are up to 6th place, which is good news for them after their horrible opening round at the Paris Prix. But another lap down, and Mahindra look pretty comfortable out in front.
Jump anywhere else, maybe midway through that second sector as well. That can lead to disaster, but Speedy is trying to put in a good recovery here. These Savage Speeders had a difficult time and are sitting in 9th in the overall standings. Speedy, of course, is one of just 2 marbles who has gotten a pole and a win at the same weekend. Also got a 2nd place and a 2nd place. That was back at the Race Forest. The wins were at Honeydale. Look to add another victory. Just a couple laps to go, but Waspy says not so fast and takes the lead. Back and forth, trying to break the draft. 2 laps to go. Through this first sector. Separated by a length, but after that brief contact, Speedy's momentum completely gone. Red Eye gets by Razzie only to be hit. Red Eye is back behind, and Red Eye is not happy. Turning, perhaps the namesake color, after the antics of Razzie, who is again allowed to fight to stay on the lead lap and is doing a momentous job. Win, they want bragging rights. And it has to be a win for Team Purity or else, but they need something to go terribly wrong for Grays of Glory. It does right there, and they lose out on first place. Purity to the lead on the final lap. Down the backstretch for the last time. Through the chicane, around the final turn, Team Purity will win the race. But Grays of Glory will win the Cravendale Cup. Spectacular. Chew on that. For all of the back and forth, really the championship seemed never in doubt for a minute. Grays of Glory, excellent throughout this competition. They've arrived fresh at every game and played with the sort of pure winning spirit the Cravendale Cup celebrates. And let's not forget also, Team Purity won this individual event, so congratulations to them. A blockbuster ending to a blockbuster games. Grays of Glory are champions and will lead us through the closing ceremony of the last Marble Standing Games. Thank you to the crowds, thank you Cravendale, and thank you for watching. 6 points to Team Purity is a good haul, but not enough to topple Grays of Glory.